Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. Today we are making a Dallas Cowboys football wreath. I do have another Cowboys wreath tutorial on my channel. That one is a very big showstopper, probably one of my favorite wreaths I've ever made. So if you want to see that tutorial, go ahead and check that one out. Today we're going to be doing a more smaller football wreath. So I'm going to be using a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. I'm going to wire it by adding 18 chenille stems, 6 on top. And I'm going to go, you can start on the top or the bottom, but I'm going to go between these 2 top rings. And when I tighten it, I try to go towards the higher part of the bar. For me, that gives me a more tighter, like it just doesn't move around as much. So I'm just gonna pull it closer to the higher part of the bar and then twist it a few times. And then if it moves a little bit, that's fine. But if it moves a lot, you definitely want to retwist it. It should be kind of hard to move. Like this one, it moves a little bit, but you kind of have to push it a little bit. But it's fine, don't worry about it. I actually like that it moves a little bit because sometimes when you get the mesh on or your ribbon on, sometimes it's not like in the right spot. And you can actually kind of push the mesh over a little bit to try to get it where you want. See this one? A little bit snugger. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 3 in each section. See, this one's really hard to move. This one a little bit. So it's fine, but that's what it will look like. I'm gonna go ahead and add that into every section. Here is what the frame looks like all wired up. Next, we're gonna be cutting our mesh. This is a thin stripe fabric mesh. I love working with this mesh. It's really thick, so I'm gonna be cutting 18 pieces at 20 inches. I have all my mesh cut, so to add it to the wreath, I'm gonna be doing ruffles. I'm gonna roll it about 3 times, and then I'm just gonna use a chip clip to hold down the other side. And then on the other side, you'll know which side to roll it on because it will naturally curl up. So I'm just gonna roll it 3 times. And then I'm gonna go up the middle and scrunching my fingers together. I'm gonna bring the mesh towards me. And then I'm gonna pinch it all together. And this is what it should look like. You can adjust it if you need to. You can make the curls as tight or as loose as you want. I'm not going to untwist it from the frame. I'm just going to put it on top. And then I'm going to give it about 2 twists just to hold it down. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of them into the wreath. Here's what it looks like with all the mesh on, and it looks so good. I really love, I know I always do a ruffle, but I just love how it looks. Like, I really love the curl look, and I think it adds some fullness and some depth to it. So next I'm going to be making the bow. I have a few ribbons. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use all of them, but I might. I don't know. We'll see. You know, I'm a go with the flow kind of thing. I know I'm gonna use this 4.5 inch, and I know for sure I'm gonna use this one. I have a different Cowboys ribbon, but I used it last time, so I'm gonna use this big boy today. And then hey, coincidentally, what? wearing my sweater today. You didn't see that. Okay, and then I have these ones. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of these for the bow. I think I'm going to use some for the bow and then some for the ribbon tails. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding them to the bow maker. I'm going to be using the Easy Bow Maker. I am not making no money off of advertising this. I don't have it linked anywhere for you, but this is what I like to use. There's other ones like the Bow Dabra and the Pearl Bow. I haven't used those, so I don't know if they're good or not, but you know, I use this one, and they have a bigger version also where the measurements are bigger. So for this 4.5 inch ribbon, I'm just rolling in the bottom instead of cutting it. I'm gonna do an 8-inch tail, so I'm gonna measure out to 8 inches. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put it into the bow maker. And then we're gonna give it a good twist. So you gotta twist it the right way so that when you make your loop, the ribbon is the right way. So I'm gonna be making a bottom bow. So I'm gonna have my tails towards the bottom. And I'm gonna do one, let me see here. I usually do the same, a 5.5 inch loop, one on each side. And then when I put it in, I'm gonna be twisting again. That way the bow doesn't fall apart. So just measure out to both sides. And this ribbon is kind of thick, but just keep working with it and, you know, position it however many times you need to get it to where you need it. And then once I have it where I want it, I'll go ahead and cut off the end. You could honestly use either side of this ribbon. The backing is this beautiful like satin material. It's really pretty. And let me show you what it looks like. This is so pretty. I'm really into the navy this year. I love it. It's so pretty. So the next one I'm going to use is this cowboys ribbon, and I'm going to do one 5-inch loop on each side. All right, so I added the cowboys ribbon, and just in case you're using a print like this, pay attention to the direction of the print. So this side's going the right way, however this side's upside down. So an easy way to fix that is you can do it before, you can do it now or after, but I think it's better to do it now while it's on the bow maker. That way it gets tightened down. You're just gonna grab that upside down piece and give it a twist. And then that way it's all going the same direction and it will get tightened down the same way. And it's all the right way. I love it. It looks so good just like that. The next ribbon I'm coming in with is this 1.5 inch ribbon. And for this one, I'm going to do a 4.5 inch loop on each side. I added the last 2 ribbons. So for this star ribbon, I did 1 loop on each side at 4 inches. I'm gonna go ahead and use a zip tie and a chenille stem. So carefully take it off the bow maker. And then using your zip tie, you're gonna go between your fingers. And I'm going to add the chenille stem in between here so that you can use that to tighten down, or you can attach that to the wreath. So you're going to go in between there. And then make sure everything's where you want it. And then once it's where you like it, go ahead and pull it tight. Okay, sorry that got cut off, but I ran out of storage on my phone, so I had to delete a couple apps. Here's what the bow looks like. We're gonna go ahead and add it into the wreath. I'm gonna do a bottom placement for the bow, and then I'm gonna go ahead and attach my sign as well. All right, I couldn't attach my sign because I need silver wire, and even though I don't like to work with wire for attaching my signs, the hole punches are here, and you'll definitely see the Chanel stem. If it was up hot, like down lower, it'd be fine, but I only have gold wire and it's not gonna look good, so I'm just gonna buy some and attach it tomorrow or whatever. So for my ribbon tails, I cut for the top around the sign, I'm gonna do 5 of these just by itself at 12 inches. And then for the bottom, I'm going to do 4 cut at 12 inches of these ones just by itself. And then for all the other ones, there's 7 left. I'm gonna do these 2 together. So it's gonna be kind of not, it's gonna be a little, I don't know. You'll see. To add them into my wreath, I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in half to get the center point, pinch it in the middle, and then make sure it's even and that it's going the right way. And I'm going to, I like to untwist my tie, and I'm going to set the ribbon tail right on top of the mesh. And then I'm done with the Chanel stem, so I'm gonna go ahead and twist it 4 or 5 times, and then I'm going to snip it off. And with the remaining nub on there that we twisted, I'm just going to fold it over to the back and then spread out the tails. And then that's what it should look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest onto the wreath. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add some embellishments. I have these little footballs, these navy blue berries, and then these like kind of matte silver berries also. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-lay out my design, and then I'll glue them in.